After an argument on live, Kelly Reaper recently put Mark Consuelos in her doghouse. In light of this, what happened in the most recent episode to trigger this? In front of a live audience, what did Mark say that enraged his wife? The bickering between Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, who are married, is a common sight on live television. When compared to other television talk show duos, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos stand apart. The co-host relationship and chemistry is a big deal for other big shows like Today and Good Morning America because viewers relate to it. What really sets Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos apart as hosts, though, is the natural chemistry they have as a team. They're married off camera. Their domestic life frequently factor into the initial dynamic. This includes the way they dispute and debate. Because of this, the pair stands apart from the crowd of news anchors and hosts. Many of Kelly and Mark's followers appreciate witnessing their lives blend into one another on live shows because it gives the impression that the hosts are welcoming viewers into their home. When it comes to Ripa, Consuelos is in hot water. How did that happen? Adam Rodriguez, who plays a character on Criminal Minds, was a guest on a recent episode of Live with Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. The subject shifted to the actor's problem with teeth grinding. Kelly Ripa came up with an unconventional suggestion in response, advising the actor to give Botox a shot. "I will resolve this for you," Ripa declared. "I'll take care of your issue." Facial fillers? Yes. If you grind your teeth, that will put an end to it. The ability to grind will be lost on you. You won't be able to smile or do anything else, Consuelos added as she clapped back. Despite her husband's antics, Rip persisted in saying, "I smile all the time." However, Mark was not about to let his wife have the final say without a fight. He shot back, "Yeah, but the first couple of days as it happened, Kelly Ripa beat Mark at his own game as she wasn't letting him off the hook easily either. When you start rubbing up against me tonight, just remember this statement," she added. "Please don't start a conversation about what's wrong with me. Why is this important? Who are you to disregard my needs?" Repo continued, "My reaction will be, my jaw can't move." This astute comment from his wife ultimately pushed Consuelos over the edge. On the show, she regularly gets him in trouble, and when they come home, the tension continues. "All right, we need to take a break." Mark seemed to be trying to stave off the scenario this time around. Kelly and Mark recently had an exchange. What are your thoughts on it? Put them down in the space provided. Come back to TV Programs Ace for more of the latest live and other talk show updates. The kitchen was bathed in a pleasant glow as sunlight streamed through the lines of the Riapa Consuelos home. While perusing her program notes for the day, Kelly sipped her coffee. Mark entered the room, yawning and stretching. He kissed her on the cheek and murmured, "Good morning, darling. Wake up. Is today's show ready to go? Adam Rodriguez will be starting for us soon." A response came from Kelly. Miles grinned. "At the ready at all times. Could you tell me the plan?" "All right. Adam is going to talk about his new initiative, but I was also considering bringing up the article regarding Botox's ability to help with teeth grinding. According to Kelly, it has been well received." Arched an eyebrow Mark. "Botox for bruxism therapy. Oh, that's unique." It made Kelly chuckle. "I can assure you, it's fascinating. We should maintain an informal and enjoyable tone." There was a lot of life in the studio. The familiar theme tune began playing as the camera began recording as the audience became comfortable. Kelly and Mark smiled at the crowd as they made their way to their seats. "You have arrived at Live with Kelly and Mark. Today, we have a fantastic show for you," Kelly began. "I agree with that." Mark also mentioned that they are discussing some fascinating health-related subjects with Adam Rodriguez. Adam joined the show later on and shared stories about his life and work. A discussion of health topics inevitably followed. "So, I saw that you've been having some trouble with teeth grinding, Adam. Have you come up with any answers?" "Hey, Kelly?" she inquired. I nodded in agreement. "Adam, it has been challenging, indeed. Mouth guards have been tried, but they aren't pleasant." Kelly bent over. "Botox injections into the jawline have actually helped with that. It relaxes the muscles and reduces the amount of grinding." With a mischievous grin, Mark leaped in. "But then, wouldn't it be awkward to grin or act normally?" Kelly gave a lighthearted reply. "At all times, I am grinning and chewing." Mark let out a laugh. "Of course, but only for the initial 2 days." Smirk spread across Kelly's face. "Keep this sentence in mind when you start touching me tonight." Out of Mark Canellis's mouth came a look of fake fear. a look that the millions of people who have watched him for years can recognize right away. Before taking on the role of co-host, that expression was all too familiar to him. The exit is too far away and I've been caught, it proclaimed. With his hands up in a sign of submission, he faced the spectators. He said, "Okay, we should take a break." His voice strained with an air of impending doom. The studio crowd burst out laughing. Adam Rodriguez, a guest who got caught up in the middle of the couple's mischievous fight, shook his head and smiled broadly. He appeared as a guest on a chat show, but in reality, he had just won a front row seat to the Kelly and Mark marital theater. With her eyes fixed on her husband, Kelly Ripa held her triumphant, wicked grin for an additional beat as the show's theme music grew and the floor director triggered the commercial. She burst out laughing as soon as the camera's red light turned out. "Like her?" Mark said. "My jaw can't move." While he reached for a water bottle on the table and imitated her line, a grudging smile lighting up his lips. Kelly responded, "You started it," her voice changing from that of an on-air host to that of an angry wife. "In the beginning, there will be no problems with my jaw." You couldn't help but chuckle, couldn't you? By winking at a producer nearby who was attempting to ignore him, Mark made a humorous comment about how amusing it was. However, the new alternative was a low blow, Ripa, or bumping up against my line. She was correct in her assessment. It was a tactical move. She patted his arm as a gentle reminder that your actions have consequences. The spit was soon fading. "Please, now. After we take a short break, we must discuss Adam's latest film. Pay attention. Even if you want to ignore me, I still know that you are compensated to do so." To put it simply, this is the brand. Since Mark Consuelos assumed the position permanently, this magic recipe has not only kept Live going, but it has also given it a surge of unpredictable vitality. There was nothing wrong with the broadcast on the Botox controversy. It encapsulated everything that made the reality discussion show so appealing. An unwritten code of courteous, polished excellence has long been the norm of morning television. Their chemistry is staged for the camera, but co-hosts are really just coworkers. They talk about events from their weekends, their children, and their vacation preparations, but it's all tastefully done. Audiences focus on the show, not the performers. That illusion has been broken by Kelly and Mark. More than that, they are colleagues. They are a married couple whose story is being told every day for the past 29 years. The metaphor of their doghouse is more than just that. It is an actual spot in their common house. They don't come across as two coworkers engaged in a planned argument when they argue. This seems like a real argument between a married couple that happens to be broadcast to a studio audience. This unvarnished dynamic is now the show's strongest suit. Viewers, especially those in committed relationships, perceive a reflection of themselves. They pick up on the slang, inside jokes, passive-aggressive remarks, and quick fixes. This isn't your average TV moment. Kelly threatened to withhold affection when Mark made fun of her Botox. This dynamic is present in the homes of millions of people. It combines the approachability of reality TV with the tried and true format of a morning chat show. Essentially, they host the first two morning shows on television, and their show is a daily update on their union. Public squabbles have a lengthy history. In a lengthy history, the Botox event is merely the most recent installment. Everything they need for a long road trip, a treatment couch, an island in the kitchen, and a car, is now in the live stage. The airport divorce argument was just a few weeks ago. A new trend that Kelly brought up is couples separating at the airport as a means to prevent arguments. Mark took a defensive posture right away. "Tell me what you mean. Is that so?" he inquired. "In the airport, for example, I move quickly. A typical case of," he said, she said, ensued in the section very soon. According to Kelly, Mark was annoyed when fans tried to touch him and needed to be at the airport 4 to 16 hours before his flight. "Please don't make that public," Mark shot back. "I don't like that. Your attempt to blame me is making me very angry right now." At the end of the section, Kelly glared at him and said, "Oh, you are going down." It was a really stressful moment, something that would indicate the conversation is going on off-air. During a car washing section on the same show, Mark became angry when Kelly wiped her bare feet on the dashboard, which left toe prints on the glass. This anger extended to other parts of the presentation as well. Their pattern looks like this. They are more than just show hosts. They are the show. Kelly's disorganization, Mark's snoring, and Mark's propensity to ignore her have all been points of contention. When you are being paid to literally listen to me, then you have to listen, Kelly said on a recent podcast, revealing that her husband's constant interruptions are the most frustrating part of their work arrangement, dissolving boundaries between living and working. There is a fine line between this level of detachment between one's personal and professional lives. When Kelly's spouse was a guest or when Ryan Searist was a co-host, it was one thing for her to relate stories about him. Something else totally is going on while her spouse is sitting there, prepared to counter in real time. Because the audience knows the consequence is serious, they laugh when Kelly jokes about putting Mark in the doghouse. After a long day, he just wants to go home. But he can't. Together, they're heading home. It is intriguing to observe the power dynamic.